Hello there. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'm Colleen Klimczak. I'm an organizational and productivity coach and a certified professional organizer. I own Peace of Mind Professional Organizing, LLC. Since 2003, I've been helping my clients live better lives through organizing and organizational and productivity coaching. I support my clients and my community with coaching, in-person and virtual organizing, my weekly podcast called Your Organized Life with Colleen Klimczak, a free weekly virtual productivity session called Finish Line Friday, a free weekly email newsletter, and regular content on Facebook and Instagram. I also offer presentations and professional development to groups and companies. And coming soon, I will be launching a membership circle to support my community with even more coaching and productivity content. Want to finish strong this week? Join me for Finish Line Friday every Friday morning at 9 a.m. Central for a 2-hour productivity session. Drop me an email at colleen@peaceofmindpo.com to request my Zoom room link, or follow the Zoom room link on my Instagram or Facebook pages. Welcome to Your Organized Life, episode 157. So I haven't decided quite what this is going to be called yet. I know that's a recurring theme week to week, but we'll see. We'll see how it all rolls out. Mostly, as I was writing this, I was thinking it is strategies to make the holidays a little easier, or a little less stress, a little more joy. And the irony is that writing this holiday article this morning was stressful. But that's okay. Scheduling got sketchy because it does that sometimes. But that's okay. I got it done, and here we are. I've been asked to give a workplace lunch and learn presentation in December about stress management for the holidays. And the pressure is on because the group that's having me give this presentation, I actually gave a similar presentation a year ago. So I have to come up with new strategies because they already heard the other ones. So these are like strategies 2.0. And I am taking this as an invitation to share those strategies that I come up with all of you for the holiday season and really any other season as well. I always want my content to be evergreen. And so, yes, this might be Thanksgiving week or holiday themed, but truly it should apply to every day. This week's strategies will focus on tasks and planning, and next week's strategies will focus on people, you and your loved ones. So here's the first strategy, and that is self-reflection. Because a little self-reflection goes a long way. It is never too late to start with the why. So take a few moments this week, perhaps with a cup of cocoa or coffee, and ask yourself a few questions. There are a number of questions you can ask to go along with this strategy. The first one being, why are we celebrating the holidays? And I don't mean in a bad way. I mean in a good way. What's our why, right? What is the most important part of the holidays for me? Whose traditions are they anyway, right? We can ask all of these questions. And we can bring in family members or friends to this conversation too. Asking ourselves and the people around us, why are we celebrating the holidays? What is most important to them about the holidays? This gives us an opportunity to set our intentions and prioritize the events, the spirit, or the efforts that will bring us the most meaning. Which leads us to the second strategy. And that strategy is do more of what you like and less of what you don't. Right? Sounds obvious, I know. But we don't always heed this piece of advice. When we look at our reflections from strategy number 1, we should start to get an idea of what we do and do not like about the holidays. I wish that I could wave a wand and grant us all an extra hour or 20 around the holidays to meet family and societal expectations, to go to all the fun events, to still accomplish productivity in our workday, and also make sure to find time to care for ourselves. But since I haven't figured that out yet for you or for me, we have to prioritize how to use our finite commodities of time and energy and money. So let me give you a few examples just to get you thinking as well. Service to others is always important to me, but as I prioritize my time, I will stick with what I like to do and not what I don't like to do. For example, one way that I love to celebrate the Advent and Christmas season is through music. And I know this about myself, and fittingly, then, the liturgy planning and rehearsals and signing up for subbing and booking holiday gigs started really early for me this year. And now I have a lot of opportunities to do what I love to do. And I've also actively added more opportunities. On the other hand, while I love giving gifts and I actually love wrapping gifts, I do not like buying gifts. I don't like to shop. Therefore, I will not be volunteering for service projects like Adopt a Family or toy drives in my community because I don't like to shop. Food drives, yes. We just participated in a big one through my parish for our local food pantry over the weekend. But me heading to the mall, no, not going to happen. So what would that be for you? What do you love? And how do you find ways to do more of what you love? And what do you not love? And how do you do less of that? So a few other things to think about around this strategy. It would be easy to procrastinate on the icky things, right? The things we don't want to do. And I know this. I really do. However, my suggestion is to do what you don't like to do but have to do anyway, early. Start early. I know it sounds backwards, but I start early on the tasks that I don't like gift shopping. It is stressful enough when there's things you don't like to do, but you still have to do them. And so what I don't want to risk is deadline-related stress around those things I don't like, but still have to do, like gifts. And if I finish shopping early, I can get on with the parts of gifting that I do like, the wrapping and the giving. Another thing to think about is, what can you outsource? And I don't just mean like paying a service to do something for you, even though that is absolutely an option. But maybe there's also something you could swap. Meaning, if there's something you love that you would be willing to do for others, if they would maybe do things for you that you don't like. So I love to bake and I love to wrap gifts. Maybe somebody I know likes to come up with gift ideas, or maybe they love to shop. So we could consider swapping tasks and labor hours. So my suggestion is to get creative and look around at your supportive people and see if there's tasks you could swap. And whether we like to do something or we don't like to do something, are there ways to make every task simpler? Which leads me to the next strategy, and that is to simplify. As you plan your tasks this season, and any season really, please consider and act on any area or task that can be simplified. What can you possibly do ahead of time is a valuable question to ask. Also, what steps could be removed completely? Or, basically, what could you make a double batch of to save time later? I will use holiday cooking as an example here, but we can ask the questions in any and all areas. Did I order groceries yesterday to be delivered instead of going to the store for this week? Yes, I did. Did that save me a whole lot of work and a couple hours out of my house? Yes, it did. Did I order already cleaned, ready to cook green beans for a Thanksgiving side dish? I will, in transparency, say yes, I did. They were on sale, and so honestly, the convenience didn't cost me extra, and it will save me work this week, which sounds like a great idea for me. Did I also batch cook a couple of meals over the weekend for when my college students are home this week, so that I'm not trying to cook for major holidays and also dinner every night? Yes. Yes, I did. Think about where you can do the same. Relatedly, the next strategy is differentiate between projects and tasks. I do not gamble, but I would bet money that some of your tasks on your to-do list are not tasks. They are projects. For example, buy a Christmas gift is a project. Bake cookies is a project. Wrap gifts is a project. Stop at Macy's on the way home from work and pick up the green sweater size large that is on sale this week for my mom for Christmas is a task. So a task is any one-step action or activity. It's usually one small piece of a project, role, responsibility, or function, but it might seem to stand alone. I am quoting The Productivity Chain by Casey Moore. A project, on the other hand, is any desired result that requires more than one action step to achieve. And that is per The Productivity Chain by Casey Moore and also Getting Things Done by David Allen. So for some of us, productivity around the holidays, as in life, consists of many projects from moment to moment and day to day. And we can get tripped up when we treat projects like tasks. In my coaching sessions and my organizing classes, I work with my clients and class participants to get realistic and differentiate between tasks and projects. Projects are complex. They consist of more than one task. And often those tasks need to happen in a certain order to successfully complete the project. So if we want to get things done successfully and with less stress, we must consider all of those factors. Projects are complex, more than one task, and often need to be done in a certain order. So if you are looking at your to-do list and you seem to be wrestling with where to start or what your next steps need to be, it may be because you have not identified or listed out what the actual steps are, the actual tasks required in any of those project areas. So now is the time to break down projects into little tiny pieces and get ridiculously specific on your task and to-do list. Once you get specific, you also need to look at the tasks or steps and identify realistic time estimates. I'm going to say that a few more times too. Realistic time estimates. So let's talk realistic time estimates. Answer for yourself the question, how long does this task take? And if you aren't sure, or if you complete the task and your estimate was wrong, actually time it out. And the other side of this question is, how long am I willing to dedicate to this task? And be ready to stick with that number. I always assume shopping is going to take forever, see above, because I don't like to do it. But occasionally I am pleasantly surprised when it goes more smoothly than expected and I finish early. But I would rather be pleasantly surprised by an early completion than be blindsided with tasks and projects that take far more time than I expected or budgeted for. Realistic time estimates, my friends. So set a timer, set an alarm, look around and seek out the tasks you dread or the tasks that you underestimate, right? All of those things, take those steps to create awareness and adjust your thinking to get those tasks and steps complete. And finally, the last strategy for this week is to remember that January is still the holiday season. I read this in an article myself last week, and it really resonated. And it is a strategy, right? We may fall into the trap of trying to stuff way too much into December. And see above, I don't have a magic wand, and neither do you. We don't get extra hours in the days or even extra days just because it's the holiday season. So consider getting together with friends and family in January. Start big life projects in January, and certainly not this week. I have my own personal learning plan and curriculum that I've talked about recently, but I moved the rest of my certifications to my January list. I feel good about that, and that will leave room for other things in December because December is busy enough. So, my friends, which of these strategies will resonate most with you this week? Self-reflection, do more of what you like and less of what you don't. Simplify, simplify, simplify. Differentiate between projects and tasks. And remember that January is still the holiday season. I hope you found this helpful. Support around living your best life, whatever that means for you, and getting things done is what productivity coaching is all about. If it's time to invest in yourself and explore coaching for organizing and productivity, I would love to hear from you. Drop me a line via email at colleen@peaceofmindpo.com or message me through my social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. Thank you so much, and talk to you next week.